Here we are. Look at this. Starbucks. We're gonna try for the first time ever the pumpkin spice latte because I've never had one before and now I'm into coffee. So welcome to fall, yay. Okay, so we're on our way home and I'm gonna try the pumpkin spice latte for the very first time. Oh, the baby's rubbing his eyes. Oh, sorry, we've also got the baby in the car. So this is it. The first taste of fall. It's probably gonna burn. It smells amazing. Oh, it is more coffee flavored than I thought. I thought it was gonna be really sweet and like overly pumpkin-y. Oh, it just tastes like coffee, but with a hint of pumpkin. And it's not too sweet. Ooh, I kind of see the hype because I thought it was gonna be a super sweet drink. Like my husband over here got a iced chai tea latte, and man, that thing's sweet. This,
But it's very good, so don't let her fool you.
don't listen to him. It's too sweet. No, this is good. It's just not what I expected. It is very, very minimally pumpkin flavored. More so just maybe a little hint of like cinnamon. Huh. Oh, well, that's my cue to pause and I'll update you on some good fall reads and I'll show you my fall decorations in our house. I think I said put this like slanted, but he put that there and he came up with the idea of hanging the sign and putting the basket on top of the suitcases. Anyway, is this not so fallish? I love it. Okay, and then we have this, which I'm loving, except this is not centered. Okay, there we go. That's still not quite centered, but whatever. Love it. Then we have this, which my mom bought me that at Cracker Barrel a long time ago, but love that. Ella is currently asleep on our little throw that we bought for the couch, but you can see it was, you know, fall colored. And we found, you know, since we have travel themed stuff in here, we thought, ooh, travel themed Halloween thing. Perfect. Okay, then we have this, which, I mean, you know, it's there. It's just kind of random. And I put this stuff on this side of the piano. Still not the best. So our kitchen is like Halloween themed and it's mostly Disney. So we have our, you know, Hitchhiking Ghost from Haunted Mansion. We're gonna put tombstones up here. We have our little spooky sign over here. Over here we have, you know, Mickey that's like lording over everything is what it looks like. Looks like he's about ready to do some kind of ritual with us so that we're like all supposed to worship him up there or something. We have these little things that we tried to stick to the cabinet so they wouldn't keep falling off when we opened the microwave. So we'll see how that goes. We have our little dish towels that match and our sign that lights up. And on this side, we have a countdown to Halloween. We still have to actually update that. I used this little tea rack just to set it up on there. We have our candle that actually does smell, it smells pretty good. It smells kind of like a bakery. So yeah, we've got some cool Halloween stuff going on in here. Also look at this. Well, here's our, you know, Mickey like Halloween candy bucket. And we have our pumpkin pie Kit Kats because why not? Oh, and we have new floors. I have to be like really quiet because the baby's literally asleep like right there. We're trying to go to sleep, but yay, new floors. And we also got new carpet in the other rooms. So super exciting. And this is still my favorite fall decoration of all. My mom made this. We found the idea on Pinterest, but she made it even prettier. Love it. Absolutely gorgeous. Just literally mason jars that we painted. I think I helped a little bit. And some letters that we cut out in burlap. And she made all these, she put all these flowers in there. I absolutely love this. Still one of my favorites. We just have this little fall sign in the window and Ash loves to grab a hold of it. I have my pumpkin candle and then this random pumpkin thing that I think Ash dropped. Yep, oops, it's kind of broken, so we'll have to fix that. And we bought this sign at Hobby Lobby. Apparently I really like things with lists is what my husband says. I guess I like lists on signs, I don't know. Oh, and we also have this sign in our kitchen hanging on the back of the like garage door here. Okay, here's what's on the front door. My mom made this as well, which I just love. Some of it's my wedding flower. These were left over from my wedding. These were wedding flowers. I recognize those, which is too funny. Also, I don't know if I ever showed you my mat. Look at my door mat. Is that not like the best thing ever? I absolutely love it. My mom made this as well, which I love. We also have this. We've got, you know, our wedding stuff up here and Ash stuff, but yeah, fall random thing. And another thing my mom made is this little cornucopia thing. It was on the dining room table, but we ran out of room. I didn't show you the dining room table, but there's a pumpkin thing on that too. So Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of my fall stuff. Oh, look, here's a little random pumpkin. Okay, so we came down here to the library because even though it's only September, like it's the very beginning of September, I think today's Labor Day. So we're gonna go through though and kind of pick out like a fall TBR because I did this for summer. I had a summer TBR. Honestly, it's mostly gonna be audiobooks because that's how I read nowadays. So I'm probably gonna scroll through Goodreads for a while too and find me some good stuff on there. And yeah, we'll kind of see what we come up with. So first thing going on the fall TBR is, okay, I don't want to like break the throne. I've already broken this throne like twice. It's bad. But we're going to read just the part of Fire and Blood that the House of the Dragon show is based on. That is 100% getting read. So that's going on the fall TBR. I don't think we're going to read any Anne Rice this fall. I could be wrong. I may reread these two because these are the two newest of the Dresden Files, and I've only read them once each, and my husband's going to be reading them soon. We are not going to read any of those. Okay, these are some like old books and some books that I've read. These don't seem very fall. Well, this looks pretty fall. But what is this? I mean, this actually sounds kind of fallish. It's like a vampiric virus thing, but I don't know. I don't think that's just not what I'm actually going to be reading this fall. I've got to read Hyperion soon. Ooh, Shadow of the Wind. I don't know if that's very fall themed, but like I've been wanting to read this for a really, really long time. Look, it says it's a novel full of cheesy splendor and creaking trapdoors. A novel where even the subplots have subplots. So, I mean, that sounds kind of creepy. Murder, madness, and doomed love. Okay, you know what? We're going to put this on the fall TBR because why not? I don't know that I'll get to the Fall of Babel. Maybe. I'm reading the third one right now. Bless Monsters. You know, I'm going to probably save this for more like winter because I read the first two last winter. So it seems like a very wintry read. Okay, this is what I really want to get to. Are these, you know, sort of scary. I'm reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt. My sister-in-law bought me this, and it's actually really, really long. The pages, you can't tell right here, but I mean, there's some pretty small font on these pages, and the pages are so thin. Like, there's a lot of pages in this little tiny book. So, but we're going to put that on the list because I'm not into dark academia very much, but I'm going to give it one more shot there. I also definitely want to read Night Film because I think it's actually supposed to be pretty creepy. Oops, I think this is part of the throne from, yeah, that's one of the pieces of the throne that fell off. I told you I keep breaking it. I really liked her young adult novel, and I think this is supposed to be creepy. Oh yeah, Damp October Night, a body is found. It's suspense. Yeah, okay. We're definitely going to read Night Film. I say definitely, and I probably won't get around to like any of these. I think this is supposed to be creepy. Is this scary? I think so. A haunted house story. Yeah, okay. Well, it's really tiny and it's really weird looking and interesting. So, my sister-in-law also gave me this book, I think at Christmas last year, and I've been saving it. I would read this, except it's massive because it does look kind of, you know, scary. I might go upstairs. There might be a book or two upstairs that I want to read too before we get to our, TBR on Goodreads, but these, so short, you know, the one part of the story from this, and then I've got this one, the audiobook's coming in like 2 weeks on this one for me. So these might be some of the physical ones that I try to get around to. Okay, so we're at Hobby Lobby and there's all the fall stuff. Yay! I'm so excited, but you won't believe this. Look over here. It's also Christmas stuff. Fall. Christmas. I think I'm still in the fall mood. So, you know, I'm going to keep finding things with pumpkins on them. I feel good about it. Okay, I figured it was time for an update because it's been a hot minute. I want to tell you about the scary book that I'm reading. So basically my plan is to read probably 2 books for this vlog. I think I'm going to read a scary one right now, which is actually sci-fi. It's a sci-fi horror novel. And then I'm going to read a dark academia to see once and for all if I hate dark academia or not, because academia, I don't know. I don't know how you say it, but apparently I don't like it. So we're going to see, because it seems like something I should love. I love dark, spooky stories. I love stories set in schools like Harry Potter. So I can't imagine why I would not like it, but everything I've tried so far, I've not been a fan of. So anyway, right now I am reading Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes, who I did not realize is not only a woman, which I did not realize, she's a high school librarian by day. Sound familiar? So clearly I should write a book is what I'm learning. Actually, I did write a book. I wrote a book for my like honors senior thesis in college, and it was not good. So, I mean, it's never going to see the light of day, but it was called the Freshman 15 because, you know, they always say you gain 15 pounds when you go to college, and they call it the Freshman 15. But mine was about how they basically win, like, was it $15 million? I don't know. They get like, it must not have been 15,000. It must have been 15 million. Anyway, in the end, between these 4 kids, because they solved these like clues that this professor left. I don't know why I'm even telling you this story. Like, it's not even good. The clues were cool though. I had to write clues that this professor left around campus before he died that led to like this treasure. And it was set in a fictional version of Eastern Kentucky University, EKU, but it was called like Arden University. But it was really about the teenagers dealing with their problems, and I don't even like that kind of story. So, but anyway, that was my senior thesis in college, and it was not good. Okay, back to Dead Silence. I figured I should update you because I'm 50% of the way through, and I've not even told you I'm reading this book. This is a sci-fi horror novel. It is just now getting to the scary part. It is very long. It is, how many hours? 13 hours? I think it's like 13 hours, maybe even more. Right about 13 hours. And so I'm halfway through it. It's a pretty long book, and I think it's like 450 pages if you were to actually read it. And I have a feeling the font is probably pretty tiny. But I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm listening to it on 2x speed, so I'm getting through it pretty quickly. And so far, there's been a lot of setup. And basically, it's about a girl. Her name's Claire. She is on the very last like manned space mission to fix some parts on some other spaceship or something. I don't really know. I don't really care. Anyway, once this is done, robots are going to kind of take over this job. So she and her crew will have no jobs after this, except the rest of her crew already has a job. And she does not. She's not going to have anywhere to go after she gets finished with this job. She's going to be pretty much out of work. And everybody's like, oh, you just want to prolong this mission. You just don't want to go back. And she also is kind of in love with one of the other guys on her team. But she is the team leader, the TL. She's the team leader, as they call her. And so she wants to go and help this she hears a distress signal. And she says it's our duty to go and see what this is, but it's beyond the Kuiper Belt. It's pretty far away. It would take them like almost 3 days to get there from where they are now. And everybody else is like, let's just go home. We have jobs waiting for us. We're done. This whole mission's over. And she's like, no, we have to. It's our civic duty. It's in our code. We've got to go save these people or whatever it is. And they're like, oh, it's just a ghost signal. It's nothing. Well, they get there and it turns out it is from a spaceship that was called it was kind of like a cruise ship, basically, like in space. It was the one and only like luxury cruise liner. And it was called the Aurora that launched like 20 years before. And it was lost. And like over 600 people died. Famous people, rich people, celebrities were all on this like first ever luxury cruise ship. And they never tried it again after that because this went so badly. No one ever knew what happened to them. And they find it. And they decide they need to take some relics back home because if they don't, people aren't going to believe that they actually even found it. It reminds me of like discovering the Titanic. I feel like this must be based on that she's like, what if people discovered the Titanic but in space and make it haunted or creepy? Because of course, as soon as they board this ship, they see that something bad has happened on this ship. There are people that have killed themselves. There are people that clearly killed other people. Like there's definitely violence. This one woman has like a knife like taped to her hand and it looks like she did it. And they're like, why would she tape a knife to her hand? There are people with their eyes missing. You know, they're all floating around dead in space with like the blood everywhere. And like they find video footage because they were also filming a reality TV show on board the spaceship. So they find some footage of that, which leads them a little bit more to figure out kind of what's been going on. I honestly have no idea what's been going on. I didn't know if there was going to be aliens. I don't think it's going to be aliens, but clearly something caused these people to go insane and kill each other and themselves. So their solution, of course, is, well, let's just bring the whole ship in. Let's just bring the whole thing home because that way it'll give closure to those people's families, even though it's been 20 years. But, you know, we're going to have to be on that ship for 3 days locked in there. So several of them stay on the main ship and several of them are going to stay now on the Aurora by themselves for like 3 days and they can't leave. And you're like, well, obviously this is going to be scary. So now she's at the scary part. She's starting to like see things and hear things. This one guy said like a mean kind of comment to her. And I'm like, okay, I think their personalities are going to start to change because that's what we saw in like one of the videos from the reality TV show was somebody's personality kind of changed a little bit and got like mean. So I don't know if it's going to be like a virus has infected them. The ship is haunted. I don't think it's going to be it'd be cool if it was a ghost. I don't know. That'd be neat to be like supernatural, but in space. I have a feeling it's going to be more like a virus, you know, something infected them, but I have no idea. So anyway, she's had some past trauma in her life because she's actually the only survivor of a previous disaster. So she's thinking back to that. And oh, it flashes forward to the present day. This is not a spoiler because it tells you like all the time, but it even starts in the present day. It tells you she is the only survivor of this mission. So clearly the rest of the people on this Aurora and I guess even on the original spaceship, I don't know, are going to die. So I don't know how that's going to happen considering they're on 2 different ships. But anyway, apparently everybody's going to die but her. And she's the one left to tell the story. And she's like trying to piece it together. She's like having, you know, she's basically like in shock, I think. And she's trying to tell them what's going on. Anyway, we'll keep you updated. I'm intrigued. I want it to be scary. Like how scary is it actually going to be? Because I'm not super scared right now. But also is it because I'm listening to it as an audiobook? You know, maybe if it was a movie, it'd be scarier. I don't know. I don't know how scared I could ever be during a book. I've never been scared during a book before, so we'll see. Anyway, after I read Dead Silence, then I'm going to read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, which I own, and it's downstairs. I think I showed you in a previous clip, because we're going to see if I like dark academia, because every video I see says that this is the definitive dark academia? I don't know. It's the definitive book on that thing. We'll call it DA, Dark Academia. DA. It is the definitive book that apparently everybody loves, and we're going to see if we like it or not, because if I don't, then maybe I'll give up on it and never try again. It's also very long and like 22 hours of audiobook. And my version is very compact, but like it is dense. The font is very tiny and the pages are very like thin. So there's a lot of pages in this book. It's like Game of Thrones size. No, it's not Game of Thrones size, but it's really big. But we're going to go to a festival here next weekend that's called, I don't know, Bywater Farms Autumn Festival or something. Anyway, we're going to go there next weekend. It's very fall themed and I will film some of that for you. But anyway, I'm going to go read more of Dead Silence and I'll let you know how it goes. How fall vibes is this? We're at a fall festival that's like right down the road from us, which is so cool. There's like a little train, they have hay rides. It's huge. It goes on for like acres of stuff, of fun. Oh, where'd the baby go? Oh, there he goes. Somebody catch him. Run, Dada, run. He doesn't know what pumpkins are. He's not really ever seen a pumpkin. How fun is this though? It's so fall. I love it. This is not so cool. We had apple cider donuts and they weren't really very good, but I'll show you more later. Doing our hayride again. We already did this once, but here we go. Our hayride. There's little play areas for kids. Look how far it goes. It goes forever. There's like slides. Let's see what's over here. Oh yeah, they have bunnies. Sorry that this is probably really shaky. Oh, whoa, super bumpy. I think you can pay extra to do these little activities over here. Mini golf and things. Oh yeah, they have mountain goats apparently. They did have little baby chicks and rabbits that you got to see. Oh look, there's chickens. Yeah, a lot of little play, like little zip lining. How cool is this? Slides. I think maybe next year he could probably do some of these slides down here. They're pretty, oh yeah, there's the goats. There we go. It's just so big. With a lot of land in between. I guess that's why there's all these tractors pulling people around. There's like 3 or 4 different stops that the tractors make. So we're gonna get off up here and have him do the little kids area. That should be fun. But yeah, I just had to show you this place because it's so cool. What's he think, Dada?
He's just looking at these. Cleared the hay a lot.
Oh, likes the hay. He likes the hay, everybody. All right. Well, I'll update you soon. Oh, and apparently they have campfires. Look at that. How cool is that? Oh, and they have mazes, like corn mazes and stuff out here. I mean, it's really actually super cool. Okay, I'm just gonna keep filming because it's actually so much fun. Look at this. You can get in one of these little tube thingies and roll around. That's crazy. I mean, you can get on this thing and bounce. Here's where we're gonna take Ash, but I don't think until we come back around. Yeah, we're not gonna actually, it's not gonna stop right here. But that's where we want to take him. Look at all the little play places. built some fun there, and he can run around without his little harness on. Ooh, look, flowers, lots of flowers. They have like a little baby maze down here too. Like instead of a corn maze, it's like a little maze of like weeds or something for babies, which is fun. And look, just like so much land. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so fall. Look at him. He's something else. Yep, there's the kid area. Yep, there's the corn maze down that way. So anyway, I just had to show you. Is this going to be the worst idea ever? We'll find out. Zach and the boy are going to go down this slide together. Oh, dear goodness. All right. Pray for us, everybody. All right.
Are you ready?
Here we go. Come on, bud. Whoa! That actually went very, very well. Okay, it is definitely time to wrap this vlog up. It has been a long time since I started it. I don't want to even admit how long it's been. Anyway, hopefully my orange lights that I have going on are fallish enough, because I can't go out to the main room because the baby's asleep, so I don't want to take a chance on waking him up. I just wanted to wrap up this vlog and say that I have read a lot since I last talked to you. So I finished Dead Silence a very long time ago. Honestly, at this point, I can't even hardly remember it. I gave it 3 stars. It was very mediocre. Honestly, don't recommend it, because if you just want to read sci-fi, honestly, it was just sci-fi. Like, it was listed as sci-fi horror, but it wasn't scary at all. The part that I told you that had happened so far, like, that part kind of ended, and then it went to something totally different. So it went to like the present day, and the part where they were on the spaceship kind of ended, and then it went to present day, and you're like, okay, well, so we're not going to really get what the scary part on the ship, because the main character doesn't even remember anything after that. And then she's the sole survivor, supposedly, of whatever happened. And the people that are interviewing her are like, okay, now we want you as the sole survivor to go back on this ship and show us like what happened and help us out. And then you're like, okay, is this like the 3rd time something scary is going to happen on the ship? Because the first time something scary happened was like way in the past when the ship first like launched. Then the 2nd time was when she got on it with her crew trying to like save people. And then the 3rd time is this time when they ask her to go back, and you're like, okay, but like you still haven't told us the scary part, you know? So honestly, it's not very scary. I would just call it sci-fi. I know it's listed as sci-fi horror, but it's not really very scary. Anyway, I gave it 3 stars. It was just sort of meh. Also, let's talk about The Secret History. Okay, sorry, my arm got tired. I had to move to a different place. So I read The Secret History. I told you I was going to start reading it. Yeah, I've read the whole thing, and I've been done for like a week. I had to sort of process it. So The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I still don't know quite. I think I'm still processing. I wound up giving it 4 stars because I feel like it is... Yes, it is pretentious, but I feel like it is supposed to be that way. So the author herself reads the audiobook, and it's kind of bizarre because it's set in like the New England area, but then the author is from Mississippi and has a Southern accent. So that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of not off-putting, but it just sort of throws you off a little bit because you're like, wait, this doesn't sound like the voice of these characters. So that was a little odd. But other than that, I don't know what to say about The Secret History. It is very long. It is very slow-paced. Really hardly anything happens, and yet I was hooked the entire time. I was sucked in. I couldn't wait to find out what was going to happen. I felt like it just became a part of my life because I listened to the audiobook for so long. I think I listened to it on like 1.5 times speed, so it took me something like 16 hours or whatever. So it still took me a good long while to read, 17 hours, whatever it was. So, I mean, it took me a lot of days to read that book. Like, yeah, probably, I don't know, 15 days, something like that. And the characters are not really that, like, engaging. In fact, I wasn't really connected to the characters very much. I didn't even hardly feel like they were real people. But the themes of, like, sin going unpunished was very interesting to me. And it was supposed to be structured like a Greek tragedy, it turns out. And so they give you a prologue at the beginning that tells you, like, this is not a spoiler because it tells you on the first page. It tells you on the first page that the main characters are going to murder one of their students, like one of their fellow students. And that happens about halfway through the book. So I expected that the first half of the book would be more interesting, honestly, than it was, because I thought the first half, I thought that them killing the main student would be, the student they mentioned in the beginning, would be at the very end of the entire book. Really what it was is the first half leads up to them killing the student. At the halfway point is them killing the student. And the entire second half of the book is the aftermath of kind of their guilt and just what happens after they've killed someone. That, honestly, not even knowing that, I kind of liked it better probably than if I had known that. So I'm sorry that I told you. But I just don't have any words for this book. There's really no way to describe it. Honestly, the less you know about this book, the better. People call it dark academia, but I would almost call this more like literary fiction written in the style of like a classic. If you like classics, this is definitely more like a classic with themes and things, a lot of things to analyze for sure. I don't know that there were some parts of this book that I was even smart enough to read. There were parts written like in Greek. And I was like, what? But there's just a lot going on, and it's going to take me some time to analyze. But as a former English teacher, I really enjoyed it, and I wound up giving it 4 stars. So I do recommend it, but I definitely don't think this book is for everybody. I've seen on Goodreads that most of the people I either follow or I'm friends with have given it 1 star or 5 stars. So they either love it or hate it. Also, in the meantime, I also read Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which was amazing. Phenomenal. Loved it. Actually, I gave it 4 stars as well. As far as like cozy mysteries go, loved it. I think I read something else too, and I even forgot what it was. So I guess I'll have to look that up. But anyway, I just wanted to wrap this blog and say that, you know, I've had a good fall reading experience so far. It's still September, but I think in the month of October, I'm going to try to read more scary stuff. I've read some like atmospheric books now, but I think it's time for like spooky season. So we'll see what I can find. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was sort of atmospheric, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.